but yet they're very charming because they crave the love of a woman.
My name is Barbara Stanton, and I'm the host. And today we have Riana Milne. So exciting to have you again. So I'm going to read your bio. This is mostly a new audience, so let's get going. So Riana was selected as one of the top coaches to follow in 2022 by Wealth Insider magazine and is also featured in Forbes magazine. She's a certified global life coach, love, trauma, and recovery and mindset coach, and a certified clinical trauma and addictions professional with so much wisdom, and a number one best-selling author, the host of her podcast called Lessons in Life and Love, an educational speaker, and a licensed mental health counselor for over 22 years, living in Palm Beach County, Florida. Riana was also selected in 2021 as one of the 100 most successful women around the world. That is unbelievable.
It is. I was shocked to get that.
So I'm not shocked. It's just like, wow, so good. From the Global Trade Chamber, she was a life and dating coach for the 12-show docuseries Radical Dating, Finding Lasting Love Over 40, and her client is now happily married. Wow! Riana specializes in those who have had past childhood or relationship trauma, which is like everybody, wouldn't you say? And yes. Offers group and VIP coaching programs for singles and couples globally. Riana's 5-star rated books, the #1 bestseller, Love Beyond Your Dreams, Break Free of Toxic Relationships to Have the Love You Deserve, and Live Beyond Your Dreams, From Fear and Doubt to Personal Power, Purpose, and Success. I mean, this is just like showing how knowledgeable you are and how much wisdom you have. I would really love to start with, what makes up a sexy woman?
One word: confidence.
Okay.
And empowerment. I always say knowledge is power. Super, super important. And there's always, the learning should never stop. And I'm just honored to work with people globally to help them heal their original childhood trauma, which we have talked about before. And when you heal the negative messages that you might have grown up with, like you're not pretty enough or sexy enough or smart enough, or watching somebody that you love cheat on you, all these messages and actions that have been done really plays havoc on a woman's self-confidence and esteem. And it's really important to do the healing work around that. And the healing work that I do, and I've been doing for years, like 40 years, is called the Mindset for Success. And then I went back and got a triple master's in psychology and became a therapist and a coach and a clinical trauma professional. So all in combination, it's the education that heals your past and keeps you living in the now and plans your future, one that you would love, which I say, create the life you desire. What does that look like? And very often I'm working with women that are coming out of toxic marriages or long-term relationships where they have been, emotionally abused or battered, financially abused. There's all different kinds of abuses. And then they just, I ask, so what are your goals? They're like, I don't know. I lost myself. I don't have anything, because they were so used to people pleasing the partner when it was a difficult situation. So we have to heal the past trauma, whether it's from childhood or love relationships, and then get you to, once we're healed that, create the life you desire and do the goal setting system to create just that as we're building self-esteem and confidence. But I work with a lot of men too, and I interview a lot of men. And I always ask, what's the #1 thing you think that makes a woman sexy? Their answer always is confidence. Right. So that's why I said there's one word, because that's what my men always tell me. They like a woman that has their life together, which we call feeling like you're the whole package. And that's really important. It's a psychological tool that my clients use before they go out to date. So very often the pattern is you come out of a toxic relationship, you're feeling battered, and it's like, I'll go out and date and get some attention. Well, then when somebody ghosts you or is playing games with you or won't call you back, then you're taking it personally.
Right.
And that weakened self-esteem is going to take a nosedive. Then you become afraid to date, and all the good ones are taken, and all these negative messages go on in your head. So it's really important that we get you back, but better. And then what I teach in part 2 of all my coaching is for singles, how to attract someone that is emotionally healthy. And then for couples, sustaining that relationship with new communication tools that most people have never been taught anywhere. And there is a real art and science to dating well and keeping a relationship. And it's important people know that today.
Wow. Oh my goodness. So much there. And so, okay. So for the single ladies out there, I mean, most people watching this are going to be single women hoping to attract the right guy this time. And so what is your success formula, or what are the factors that make that person be able to do it this time? Because a lot of people are coming in with, a few bad relationships.
That's what we call RRS, relationship repetition syndrome.
Oh.
And that comes directly from the unhealed unconscious chemistry of what is attracting you to your partners is the worst way to fall in love. And it's taking you directly to the dynamics of your past. So somebody would say, like, I never meant to date an alcoholic. My dad was an alcoholic. Why would I, or maybe he's not an alcoholic, but he's a gambler, or he smokes pot every day because your dad was an alcoholic. It's all unconscious, and it's a very strong pull. So the brain stays in homeostasis. It likes what it knows, but it doesn't know if it's good or bad. So if the brain recognizes patterns from the past, it's like ding, ding, ding chemistry. And that you don't, but it doesn't say, well, this is bad, so don't go with this person. And then very often those that have the lower self-esteem or low self-worth are drawn to someone and get involved very quickly. They fall in love quickly emotionally, they get involved intimately really quickly. And it's, again, another worst thing that you could do. So when you have your self-esteem and you're empowered when you're dating, and I never say be vulnerable when you date, because that's when people like sociopaths take advantage of you. So be empowered when you date, know the questions to ask. There's like 24 of them that my clients learn, know exactly what to ask. And then you will know that person in front of you, if they're a good partner or a bad partner, and exactly why. So when some women say, oh, I can't trust myself to go out and date, I keep picking bad people. Well, because they don't have those new skills that no, you can't get in a self-help book. This is all from psychological research that I've done, that, when you have them, now you know exactly what to do and exactly what you're looking for that's good or bad. So that helps. But the first secret I would say is definitely you want to love yourself first. If you're having all these fears and doubts, it comes across as too vulnerable, and someone will play on that. They'll try and take advantage of you. So we have to increase your self-esteem and confidence to make sure you feel like that successful single. So we look at 10 life areas, and any that you feel are not doing well because of your last partner, we make you very empowered in them first. That's first. So second, we want to rid your life of any cheap drama, anything that's negative in your life. We do the goals to clean that up. If there's a parent-child issue, we make sure, I work with a lot of kids. I worked in every grade level at the schools and as a therapist with a lot of families. So I make sure you do the positive messaging for kids to help build back their self-esteem. Because remember, if you were in a toxic household, they're impacted by that. They now have childhood trauma. So there's certain steps you need to do to help them become loving again and trust again. Very often, if the marriage breaks up and then mom has a boyfriend and the boyfriend moves in and then it's toxic, they're angry at the mom. But kids don't have the mental capacity, the emotional capacity to really express themselves of how they're feeling. They either become externalizers and act out, yell, scream, get involved with risky sex, run away, or internalizers will be locked in their room all day and be on their computer, or have eating disorders or self-mutilate. So there's all kinds of things on either side. If you're seeing signs in your teens or your kids, get help immediately. It's not something they're going to just grow out of. And we want to look for these signs in our kids. Another thing that's important is totally be yourself. When you are confident and you know what you want because you've created the life you desire, now we're selecting the person. We're not hoping we're chosen.
Right.
We are selecting that partner, right?
Right.
So your life is going in a certain area. You set up your goals and you're feeling really great about that. So you're looking for a partner with their own goals. Where do they want to go in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years? You know, if you're a homeowner, I always say, don't date a renter. The renter's going to want to move in on you. Your man should have a home too. I mean, it's about empowerment, not settling for less. Yes. There's all kinds of rules, but that's just a couple I throw out. And the reason I do is there's been a lot of cases where the man has moved in with a woman, claims a faulty domestic violence situation. The woman gets pulled out of her own home and he's left in it. So there's all kinds of scam artists out there, sociopaths that are hurting women, and you really need to know what you're doing. Be authentic, just be yourself, love yourself, show up, be, you know, the great person that you are. I always say also, you know there's questions to ask on your first and second date and choose yes or no. And also know what not to say on your first date, like never talk about your ex. If he brings up sex, that's a no, red flag right away. He's too obsessed with that. That's the first thing he cares about. Money should not be discussed. Problem kids, even if you are having problems with your kids, don't mention it. If he asks about your kids, tell them their names or ages and something they excel in. Okay, don't go into any problems. And if they're looking for sexy photos, block their number. Okay, you don't know where those photos are going to end up. So you have to make some really smart choices. Before you get on the phone with someone, you want a last name. Go and Google search them and look them up on LinkedIn. If they own a company, they should be there. Don't let them pick you up at your house, right? You don't want them to know where you live. A lot of these women are cooking for men on their second date, bringing them into their home. I'm like, are you crazy? Totally. You know, because they could be scouting. How much do you have? Where's her bedroom? How much jewelry is she wearing? Like, you have to be really careful. You have to know the do's and don'ts of dating today. Super important. What other things? I could talk all day on this.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I do. Some questions did come up, and I love that you have these sort of clear-cut rules, because people are like, oh, but he felt okay, and this, or I was set up by a mutual friend, or he's the brother of this person that I know, so I know him. So no, just don't cook for a man on the second date. Like, right. Just don't. There's a line, and don't keep trying to convince yourself that what you're doing is okay because you're right. I mean,
yes, it's almost like she's trying to prove herself. And I also tell my men, beware of women that want to cook for you on the first or second date.
Right.
So they know that's someone who's feeling a little bit desperate and needy.
Yes. Needy.
So they know that is a red flag for them. So I help the men what to look for, and I help the women know what to look for.
I love that. And I want to go back to the chemistry piece, because a lot of women or a lot of people watching this are going to be like, yeah, but, you know, I get this in my practice all the time. Well, I don't want to be with someone I don't have chemistry with. Like, why are you telling me that initial chemistry is bad?
Okay.
Take it from here.
There must be what we call the attraction factor. Yes, you have to be attracted, but if it's that hot chemistry and you want to be intimate with them very early on, it's dangerous, because once you're intimate with someone, the oxytocin in your brain is on fire, and you are going to overlook a lot of the red flags that are coming up because the sex is so good. So you have to really, the best relationships that sustain over time are formed in friendship first. All the research shows. So be friends first. Do you really like this person? You know, what is their qualities? What is their goals? Do they match yours? Do you like the same vacations? If you like beach vacations and he wants to go snow skiing every winter and you hate the snow, this is not going to be a very good match. It's simple things. Do you love dogs and he hates dogs? As a matter of fact, Scott from Radical Dating, my guy that ends up, winning the show, marrying first and having his partner first, on his requirement list was must have dogs, must love dogs. If he doesn't love dogs, like forget about it. I don't want to be with that partner.
Yeah.
So it's what do you want? If you're a younger woman and you want marriage and a family, and you know that's something that would make you really happy, one of the first date questions so are you a man that sees yourself wanting to be married and have kids one day? And if it's one of those, well, probably one day, or she really wants them, that's a no.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when I was talking to my daughter about this, and she was on Match.com where she met her husband and I helped with the profile, his answer was, oh my God, yes. I don't even see my life as happy if I'm not a dad. I want to coach their teams. He goes, oh, my friends are getting married. I really want marriage and kids. I mean, that's
yes.
It's a clear distinction.
What is this BS story that so many women have about not thinking that they can't be authentic like that they can't say they want to get married? What is with that?
Well, then they're going to end up wasting a whole lot of time with someone who's not ideal for them.
Right.
The men know if they want marriage or not. And a lot of men say no because they don't personally feel ready. Right. Our society, especially here in the US, is a man has to be ready financially for marriage. Right. So if you're in the younger set, 28, 30, 32, and he's there, well, I don't know, I don't want to marry yet. He doesn't feel ready to marry, or maybe he didn't grow where he wants to be in his career. And you got to hear that answer.
Yes.
Even if a guy comes out loud and strong and goes, well, you're a really nice person, you intimidate me. Right. And women would say, oh, well, and then they try to down themselves. But the response to that is, well, if he's the right partner, he's not intimidated by me. Yeah. He's cheering me on. Wow, that's amazing. I love that you're this because you match me. Yeah. Because if you're a successful woman, you want a successful guy. He's not going to be intimidated by you.
Yeah.
Right. So it's really important that you know these subtle nuances of communication, body language, the answers to the questions. Like my clients know all about the top 10 childhood traumas. They're looking for those in those answers. And I'll give you an example of that, Barbara, because people are like, what are you talking about? Okay. Yeah. So a simple question, it doesn't sound like an interview. Trust me. So if it's an older person, let's say my age category and the baby boomer, and they would say, so tell me, is your mom and dad still living? Are they here in Florida? Or are they somewhere else? It's like, oh no, my dad died and my mom's in a nursing home. Oh, well, that's a shame. How's she doing? And he goes, well, if I didn't even have to go to the nursing home, I wouldn't. She was an alcoholic my whole life and nasty as hell. And, her and my dad fought all the time. And I said, wow, was your dad alcoholic too? Well, he was, but at age 13, he quit and he really made amends to me. We started camping together and I was so happy he just got me away from my mom. And I would say, oh, well, that's amazing. So on my end, it sounds like a normal conversation. What did I learn? He has grown up with verbal abuse, 2 alcoholic parents. He's a mother hater, which is not a psychological term, but it's a term in my Love Beyond Your Dreams book.
Right.
19 people that could break your heart. If they don't like their mother, they're going to disrespect and not like you. But yet they're very charming because they crave the love of a woman. Yeah. Very early on because they didn't have it from their mom. But then they're going to start getting critical and nitpicky and, be upset if you put on 5 pounds because you're not the perfect woman. So it's a very hard man to love. So, in that 4-sentence conversation, I learned a whole lot. Yeah. And that would not be a second date.
And this is so great because you're really putting words and like a system to this, because what happens is these women, they go on dates and they have the exact same conversation that you just described, and they don't feel good about it. They feel something, but they don't know what it is. And so they talk themselves out of it and they say, well, he's just a nice guy. Like he just, he had a really rough childhood. I should give him a chance.
That's what I thought until I had 2 love traumas. And then I did the research on why am I experiencing this into my life, right? And I needed those answers, and the answers became crystal clear. And that's when I said, oh my God, I got to write books. I got to take this out to the world because it is so insightful. And it is the psychology and art of dating. And if you don't know these nuances, you are setting yourself up for that repetitive RRS, finding a toxic guy over and over and over again because you don't know what to look for.
Yeah.
And anyone who is emotionally healthy and consciously aware, you're going to see that they're going to have their life together. They're going to be a good parent. They're going to have goals and dreams. They're going to be proud of their career and want to talk about it. Yeah. They're going to be faith-based people. Faith-based was one of the top things that if a couple shares leads to sustainable relationships. So knowing these facts, that were from research over time, clearly what you're looking for, which is a yes, and clearly what is a no. So it just makes dating that much easier.
Yeah. And it's so true. I mean, it's the same as marketing, right? If you're marketing to everybody, no one only Coca-Cola can do that. Really. Right. But, you and I both being business owners, you gotta be really clear on who it is you're serving.
Yeah.
In order to really be able to serve them. Same with dating, get really clear on what it is you want. You don't have to be wishy-washy. People are afraid.
It's a scarce mentality, Barbara.
Yes.
That's what's happening. If I push this one aside, maybe there won't be someone else that wants me, and then they settle. And we have 36 red flags that my clients know, yes or no. But the research shows most relationships are perfect the first 90 days. We call it the 90-day rule. So that's why you're not intimate early on. And dysfunctional patterns start showing up in months 4 through 9, when you're either exclusive, living together, getting engaged, married, or have a child. Because these major life transitions will put that person that's being very careful to be the perfect boyfriend or girlfriend into that tailspin, and they can't hold it together as easily anymore. But when you're dating, you want to know those requirements, like the must-haves, like I talked about, must-have dogs or must-want marriage and family. And there's a whole lot of lists. We go into that. You need to know your functional needs and your emotional needs. Are you someone that likes PDA when you're out? You like to kiss your boyfriend, hold their hand, or does he push away? Don't do that. That's uncomfortable. They have to match. Functional needs mean how are you going to function day in and day out? Is this someone who's clean or insists on you cleaning the house and picking up his wet towels from the rugs, and that you have to cook for him every night when you're a business person? You better know, you better have these conversations. There's a lot of conversations to have before intimacy should ever happen.
Yes.
And when you do, and you're feeling empowered, clearly yes or no, and then you move forward or not. And the other thing for women is the attraction factor. I want to talk on that a little bit.
Yes, please.
Caveman brain. Okay. It's very real. It is the small brain in the back of the neck. In psychology, it is our inner drives. And there's a cave woman brain. Cave woman brain is wired for safety and security. Okay. So when women want to feel safe, I have to explain to the men when they say, oh, women just want money. I said, no, they need safety and security. And I'm going to tell you why. Cave woman brain they're the child bearers. So they are looking for a man that would be a good provider and father to this infant, right? So then they can understand it scientifically and psychologically. Okay, well, she's hardwired for that. Well, what are men hardwired for? Attraction. Why? Because they were made to procreate the race. So women, the attraction factor, even though it's really stereotypical, look good when you go out, do your hair, do your makeup, dress nice, really pick something else that you feel good on. Because when you look in the mirror, it's yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm feeling awesome. That will show up in your confidence levels. Yeah. But the men have the 5-second rule. Do you ever notice on a date, the man always wants to get there early, sit at the bar. So he's looking at the door. So when you walk in, he can see, and he judges by the time you walk in and get to the door, if he's going to see you again. We call that the attraction factor. You should look like your pictures you're putting online. Don't lie about your age. Be real.
Right.
If somebody did that to any of my people, right away they say they're a liar. They don't like who they are.
100%.
Nah, turn off. Okay, so being authentic, being real, getting into the attraction factor, because That's important to a male, whether we like it or not. And after the marriage, why do a lot of men cheat? I know, because I have these couples in my practice. Well, she gained 25 pounds. She used to look beautiful when we go out. She's in sweatpants all the time. I mean, whatever that is, it's like, who were you when you two met? And the goal is to remain, as close as you can. Yes, there's always going to be aging, but take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
Be healthy, exercise, get your sleep, eat healthy organic foods. It's all a part of feeling good about who you are.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to hit on the attraction factor, the 5-second rule in dating, because that is a part of attraction.
Yeah. And I love that you're just, say it again.
Whether we like it or not.
Well, and I think, honestly, if we really drill down, we like to feel beautiful. But I think our society also, and feminism, I'm going to maybe get some haters, but is making it so that we have this chip on our shoulder about, well, we should be loved for who we are. And that's true. But we shouldn't expect to be thought of as beautiful all the time. I mean, my partner does, when I have, greasy hair bun and I'm in the morning and I have bags and I'm like, morning, honey.
Beauty, we know, Barb, it's beauty inside and out.
Right.
Like, are you kind? Do you have good mood management? Are you a peaceful, positive person? Or you can
Also
be
all the time.
woman, but negative and angry and nasty and critical.
100%. 100%.
It's the inside outside beauty we're talking about. And as long as you feel good about yourself, you could be very natural and not be into makeup, and that's cool.
Totally.
That's your authentic self. Be that, and you're going to attract the kind of nature guy that you want.
Yeah.
I'm not
a vibe. It's a whole vibe. It's an energy. And it doesn't mean being in sweatpants and not showering, and you should, a man should be attracted to you if you don't make any effort. And it also doesn't mean you have to be all dolled up all the time and perfect, even 10 years into a marriage.
Right. But who were you when they met you? And, be your authentic self when you're dating. That way they like you as you are, as you're showing up. And in one of my research papers, actually, I did for my master's program, I wanted to interview 100 men. I only got 99. I couldn't get the last guy.
Oh, wow.
And I wanted to know, when did you know that you fell in love with your lady? And it was like 93% said the first date.
Yeah.
When I first saw her, she was beautiful. Okay. Boom. That is like textbook. Then the other majority, the next big group was date 2. And then the smaller percentage was date 3.
Right.
But they knew they loved her, but they loved her enough to give her the time and space, because women always take longer. If a man's smart, they know that. And I do educate my men on that. Women should not fall that fast.
Yes. Because
we are analyzing the safety factor.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So it is this, they call it the dance, right? And that if the man really, really likes her, he'll take his time. If a man's pushing for sex on date 1 and date 2, it's just, that's all he's about. So if a man that really cares for you, he would not even think of mentioning it early on.
Yeah.
Take his time and nurture that relationship and date you for a while.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the psychology behind dating and attraction is really, really fascinating. And once my clients learn this, it's a game changer. They go from toxic to incredible marriages. And I've been doing this since 2000 was when I opened my practice, year 2000, and the coaching piece and the mindset piece, like 2006 on forward. I'm also an officiant. So I married a lot of my clients in New Jersey. It's like, Riana, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have met my incredible partner. We want you to do our weddings for us. So, it's just being part of that. We call ourselves a family, because like, once you know these secrets, they never go away.
Amazing.
It's really, really incredible when you have that power, that education.
You're just such a gem and such a gift to the world of relationships. Thank you so much for imparting your wisdom in this beautiful show again. And I know that we're coming to an end. I wish I could chat with you forever, but we'll just have you on again and again and again.
Good.
I know you have a gift for our audience. Can you share with
Yes.
us a little bit about it?
Yes, I got a brand new ebook out. So I want you to
Okay.
all take advantage of that on how to have the love you deserve. So check that out, and more free resources at my website, rianamilne.com, my name. And you can also take the 4 free love tests there. You can get free book chapter downloads. And of course, my podcast, I think I have 110 shows now on lessons in life and love, and 250 on my YouTube channel. So help yourself. Lots of free
Amazing.
resources. And if you need me, don't be shy to reach out. We're running a really great promotion on a private meeting with me called a discovery session right now. So
Amazing. And we're going to link everything below this video, so no one has to remember all of that. It's all going to be there. Riana, any closing thoughts for our audience?
yeah, I just want to really encourage you, really get of the mindset like you can create that life you desire and have the love you deserve. Don't wait. If you've been struggling, there's a reason, and you want to get to the bottom of it. Life's too short to be unhappy. So go for it.
Yes. Amazing. Riana, thank you so much for your generosity with your time and your wisdom. It was such a joy to have you again.
Thank you, Barbara.
And thank you to the audience yet again for watching another amazing interview. And we will see you on the next one. Bye for now.